you're doing good. In case you're new, my name is Charity Mugeni and I make videos on faith, family, and self-improvement. So if you haven't subscribed up to this point, please do. I would really love to have you be part of this family. When you are a child, it's so easy to just fall asleep. Anytime you feel like you want to sleep, you can go to sleep. There's nothing much to think about or worry about in life. But as we grow and become older and become adults, you reach to a point where you experience some kind of suffering that can push you to a point where you struggle with falling asleep. Some circumstances that causes great suffering and make someone struggle sleeping, it could be sudden job loss, it could be sickness, it could be maybe just not having a clear purpose about life, and that pushes you into a lot of worry and makes your mind always racing and your heart always racing, and that makes you struggle to fall asleep. So struggling to fall asleep or human suffering is not all about lack of wealth or poverty. It is just generally the normal human experiences that we all go through at some point in our lives. Because you can be wealthy, yes, but sometimes you lose a loved one. That one can also make you go through suffering. Or sometimes, yes, you have stability in terms of finances, but maybe you just feel like you've got no purpose in life, and that can push your thoughts into a place that makes you go through mental and emotional suffering. And such kind of suffering usually interferes with your normal sleeping patterns. It can make you go through even physical pain because you are struggling to settle your heart or to have your mind settled. So if we cannot have enough sleep, we find ourselves even struggling to just go through our day-to-day lives because we cannot even be able to have clarity in thinking, even in terms of our plans, in terms of getting organized. That is why today I want to talk about some of the strategies that you can employ to help you fall asleep if you find yourself in that situation where you are going through some kind of suffering at some point. Strategy number 1 is engaging in physical exercises. Physical exercise is not something that everyone is usually comfortable with, but when you want to improve your quality of sleep, you really have to try to engage in some form of physical exercise. But make sure that you do something that you are comfortable with, something that is easy for you to do. It could be just simply stretches, or you can do some walk, or you can engage in jogging. Just do something that you are comfortable with. If you love dancing, you can do some dance moves just in the house. You put on a radio and start dancing. So just engage in some form of physical exercise. Make sure you pick those exercises that you can easily do so that it is not so much. Strategy number 2, make sure that you get into the habit of taking slow and deep breaths throughout the day. And as you do that, make sure that your mind focuses on how you are breathing. So you do that throughout your daily activities. Make sure that you breathe deeply and slowly. That usually helps you relax and helps you manage to control your heartbeat, because you realize that if there is one thing that can interfere with you falling asleep quickly is a racing heartbeat. So if your heart is racing quickly, you might find yourself not really falling asleep quickly because your mind will keep on thinking about how your heart is racing, and it will make you not. Strategy number 3 is that you have to monitor and manage your screen time. The time you spend either watching TV or browsing through your phone has to be limited, because your eyes, as they keep looking at whatever it is that you are watching, it makes your brain and your mind stay active. Or probably you might find yourself ending up watching something that can even heighten your emotions, and that is likely to also interfere with your ability to fall asleep. Number 4, you need to take some time to relax, at least before you go to bed. So after you finish having your dinner or your supper, just make sure that you have at least some 20 to 30 minutes resting time to just wind down. So that will help your mind and your body relax before you set yourself up for bed. So maybe you have been active throughout the day, engaging in different activities that you handle, whichever the activities you do, depending on your work or depending on your responsibilities. So that requires you to reach a point where you can disengage and detach from what you've been doing. So the fifth one is that when you go to bed, avoid turning around in bed. Try to just stay still in the same position so that you can help your body gather good temperature that can help you get into sleep. Because turning around makes your body change into different temperatures, and change in temperatures can interfere with your ability to fall asleep. So try as much as you can to stay in the same position so that your body can gather a consistent temperature that can help you fall asleep. The last and the most important one, once you go to bed, don't think, because there is no amount of thinking in bed that will help solve your problems or your challenges. Learn and train yourself to postpone your thinking until the next day, because no matter how much you think throughout the whole night, it does not mean that you will find solutions for whatever it is that you're going through. So learn to just disengage from thinking once you get to bed, and that will help you fall asleep, because a mind that is not thinking, it certainly will fall asleep. So most of the things that make us not to fall asleep is a racing heart and a racing mind. So if you train yourself not to think once on the bed, you will find yourself succeeding in falling asleep most of the time, most especially when you're going through this kind of suffering or challenges that I have just mentioned. So do that training. It will help you. So sometimes it won't succeed because you are human, but you are certainly going to benefit from these strategies once you learn how to employ them.